baby. The magic is back in more ways than one. Oh my goodness. Got a couple of the MIA boys here on board to discuss the latest comings and goings from the Wires. First of all, back from suspension, Daniel Wharekura. Welcome back, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, good to be back in the lineup. Full of misdemeanors, eh? Bit of loading. Bit of carb loading in Japan. But no, good to be back.
Nice, bro. Nice to hear it. Moneta is also back from a long-term hamstring injury. Bro, welcome back.
Yep, I'm back, ready to hit it, run, and hopefully don't end up with another injury. But we'll see what happens, eh?
Fair enough. Man, plenty to be excited about, to be honest. That weekend, I mean, when you think about it, we had the Warriors magic win at Match Ground, which ordinarily would be the leading sort of source of joy for us. But that wasn't it. Nor was the New South Wales Cup boys having a big win and going top of the table. So that wasn't it either. Nor was it the Harold Mats boys winning their grand final. Congratulations, back-to-back titles for them. That still wasn't it. 1 million views for our YouTube channel. No, that's still not it either. The number one sense of joy from this weekend was finding out about the newest Warriors fan, and that is Isaac Sauce's daughter, who has arrived a few days ago. We congrats to Isaac for surviving the ordeal that was childbirth. I'm sure it was probably equally as full on for Misaki as well. So congrats to Isaac, Misaki, and Yuna as well. Is that right, Peter?
Yeah, Yuna.
Yeah, Yuna. So so congrats to them. He's obviously on dad duties, so man, we're really stoked for him. So what a time to be alive, boys. Holy hell. Let's get into it. We'll start with you, Buddha. Was that the best weekend of Waz results ever?
I mean, even leading into that, the oracle that is Gus Gould was making mention to the strength of the club, right? At all levels, and to be back to back GF winners and the Mats level, and then us at all levels dominating, and having our low key best start of this season ever, I guess. Low key, as in I think we've had other seasons where we've looked like we've come out of the gates faster and harder. But when you put, what are we, round 8 now, coming into round 9, and where we're sitting, and actually just talking to many blokes, everyone's getting out of the woodwork, everyone's up the wires now, as well. And everyone talks to you about it because they know that you're a day winner. But just commenting on, we won all our close games this year as well. So it's a good thing. I mean, sometimes luck's going to run out a little bit, but it's, I guess, winning hard, winning ugly, winning when your back's against the wall. That's what you want from this team. So yeah,
and it's a bunch of those games that last year, the close ones that we couldn't get the results right. It was on a knife's edge, a lot of them, and we were on the wrong end of it more often than not. So good to get those types of wins. Moneta, man, that game from Magic Ground. Tell us what was the feeling like for yourself in the final stages of that game?
Well, I wasn't sitting down, I could tell you that. And I felt like with Webster, when they scored in the corner, pretty much.
Cut to Webster, Cam.
There were a couple of close calls, weren't there? But I think the pivotal moment was when Metcalf made that tackle to Langi in the corner. Oh my God. I think that I thought he had scored it because he scored the previous try, but that was, I think, a crucial moment for me. So, yeah. Oh God, hey. Yeah, it was hard to get to sleep. Let's just say that. My heart was racing.
Yeah. So I noticed that you mentioned on Facebook that you may have shit your pants as well. I'm watching.
Yeah, I did. I've got new pants now, so it's okay.
Fair enough, bro. But it was so cool to see the Warrior Nation just taking over Magic Ground once again. It seems like it happens every year now. We just bloody, whatever event it is. If the Warriors are playing, bro, there's scores of fans there. The Warrior Holic was there in the stands, I know. Richie Morgan from Warrior Nation was there. I think Christian Catley was there as well, amongst a whole bunch of other folks. So they were getting amongst it in the rain as well.
Can I just say that the Warriors chant with like 15 to go, probably got the boys over the line. You could just hear in the speakers, right, and in your TV in your living room, the Warriors, when they needed it, because we were on slippery ice for a little bit. There was a segment there which we had a couple of little outside back injuries which contributed to a little bit of us being in quicksand and then them flooding while they left. So, but yeah, I think that extra crowd effort, which I think safe to say the Warriors fans dominate the atmosphere at Magic Round. We'll need that confirmed, but all the pundits, all the key people there highlight how good the Warriors fans are. So might have just got us that 2 points.
Absolutely. And that was a Queensland team, playing in Queensland. So there's always, parochial sort of support for the Queensland sides. And the fact that, the Warriors were there and it didn't even seem close, man. It was just bloody, it looked like, a mini Mount Smart over there. But Moneta, so it's funny because I think obviously we're flying high on the table up in third at the moment. But I kind of feel a real sort of sense of maybe reservation amongst the fans. No one's getting too far ahead of themselves, just taking it week by week.
Yeah.
And even looking at our points differential, which is sitting at 0. It's even Stevens, which is, funny for a team that's won 7 or 6 and lost 2. But bro, what's your feeling on how excited we should be getting?
Yes. I mean, we haven't been playing full 80-minute rugby, rugby league. So I think there's a bit of reservation, and Butter alluded to, we've just won those, clutch moments, and luck is on our side this year compared to last year. But even Barnett touched on that. There's elements where he is still disappointed, especially from the second 40, and talks about, and I think I feel the same way that I think it's a good thing because it shows that they still have a lot to improve on, and so. They haven't reached, their peak yet. I feel like they're 60% way there or 70, and they still have a lot to go. So to me, I get a bit excited about that. But yes, there's a bit of reservation, but I do think, we're building nicely. And like I said, this is the best start we've ever had to a Warriors season. So I'm going to lap it up.
Drink it in, man. Drink it in.
I'm lapping it up.
Speaking of really good form, a guy who's starting to get his name up in lights, and he just ripped it up at Magic Round. Sitting now, I think, 4th equal on the Dally M points, that being Luke Metcalf. Daniel, what have you seen from him from the past few games from afar?
Luke has built into his season, hasn't he? He's built into his role. I think there was merely nervousness amongst the fans, the base, to kind of say, is he going to be the guy? Should we put him at 6? Is he just a running guy? Can he control the team, or at least steer the team around the park? Can he fire the attack as well? And so there was a little bit of nervous energy, and obviously having listened to some of the games recently as well, some concerns around goal kicking in the big moments, but I mean he's obviously eradicated a little bit of that, especially with the win a couple of weeks ago. But it just built nicely into his role. I mean, I guess you have to say it's off the back of a very good platform as well. So, I think everyone needs to remember that, halfbacks need go forward, good ball and good positions too. So, and also he's got a perfect foil. CHT is just, he's, I think, been a little bit of a unsung hero as well. Defensively, he's always going to bring it. So you're safe there, but he's also, the kind of Batman and Robin approach at the moment as well, working well. Yeah, I think collectively this podcast was still confident that you got to give them time, you got to let them play as well. And look, Tamati's been amazing, and absolutely he's been really good. But Webby has confidence and wanted to give the boys the keys, and it's their team to run at the moment. So he's stepping into the role we need him to be as well. So.
He did awesome, mate. He did awesome. First 40 was scintillating, I thought. He went into the gap, his pace, his tackling. I actually think, we've got him better on the defense because of his pace, to be able to get to places and positioning. So I've always been a big fan of Metcalf, and I think it's starting to show a bit more in terms of how he's playing now. It's no mistake, he's number 4 in the Dally M, So, yeah, he's building nicely, which is a good thing. He hasn't reached his peak, as usual.
Yeah, he really is. It's been funny because I spoke with Isaac a couple of weeks ago about the style of play that the Warriors use, and I likened it to a slow cooker. We put teams in the slow cooker, and they're like, oh yeah, this is all right, it's not too bad, and just over time they just start to just slowly peel apart. And it's also been a bit of a slow cooker with our halves, because at the start of the season, against Canberra, it was like, oh man, have we done the wrong thing here?
Too much Vegas.
I think a few of the boys might have just sort of taken their eyes off the off what they should have been looking at. But yeah, it is great to see the lads getting the results now, because it's sort of we've been looking at New South Wales Cup. We've seen Te Maire Martin, Tanner Boyd just absolutely destroying everyone in their path. So naturally, people are going to be like, well, maybe we should bump them up. And even still chat about that. I've noticed after the latest New South Wales Cup game, but it's cool to see, what Luke and Chanel are doing at the moment, which is awesome. Now, in terms of the platform you mentioned, Daniel, a guy like Erin Clark is just absolutely on fire at the moment.
What a unit. He's just we always said he's the sort of player we hated playing against. So he's always had that ability to kind of, like he can rough it. He's just strong. But I just noticed like people can't put him down. He just doesn't go to ground, does he? And he constantly has PCMs must be through the roof as well. And what I do like though in the last few weeks and the clips I've seen is I was concerned when Walker left, we didn't kind of have the natural ball playing 13 as well. Although Clark's biggest strength is his run, but he's also does have the ability to ball play as well. And I think that's highlighted over the last few weeks as well, where he's put some people in some pretty good try scoring opportunities as well. So yeah, like how good he's just, I think probably outside of Luke Metcalf's meteoric rise, he's probably been our best forward in the club.
Are you saying it could be a good battle between one gorilla and 100 Erin Clarks? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, actually, it would only be 10 Erin Clarks, maybe 5.
Oh, wow. I was the only one getting
hard
that.
to deal with.
Yeah.
The gorilla. 100 human, this one gorilla.
Yeah, whoever started that whole thing, I mean, I like watching the simulations that people come up with. Yeah.
I like one stipulation. People will die.
Yeah, great to see Erin Clark, a former halfback as well. It should be noted. So he's got some skills to him. Another man who has got some skill as well, Moneta, made his debut on the weekend. Son of a Mitch, Healey, Sam Healey, that is. Man, he came on, played out of position, and I thought he looked really good.
Yeah, he was really good. You can tell he was up for the challenge, and I thought he would have scored that, assisted in that, one of the best tries ever. But, he made an impact straight away. He was obviously last 13 and, a lot of players are tired, but he made, full impact in terms of how, he was on the field. So that was great to see. And it just makes me think, Jesus, we're going to, we've got so many good players now. Something I haven't, and they're not injured, not all of them, like last year.
Yeah, few of them at the moment.
Yeah, a few of them. But this is what I mean. When they get back, where they're going to be?
It causes a few headaches, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, oh shit.
It kind of played the that kind of Josh Curran role we had, Josh, at the end.
Yes.
And actually, I go a long way to say that Sam Healey's inclusion and his cameo probably helped us get that game in control.
Yep.
Being at the right time, at the right place, some great smart plays, and obviously, that little bit of that energy needed. So awesome to see. And we kind of always said, look, Wade, and even we said Wade can't play 80 minutes all the time as well. He still played pretty much the whole game anyway, but because obviously other factors. But nice to have that quality coming through. And going to be a headache when everyone's going to fit, right? How do we fit all these guys into the same 17 every week? But so good to see.
I think that when Sam came into the game, it was a bit wet. We were just trying to hang on, so it wasn't really his style of game. More of a run around the tired forward, slice and dice the defense kind of things. The fact that he came on at a time that it didn't really suit him and what he offers, but he was still able to come in and contribute and do a really good job, that speaks volumes.
He's quite a big body though, for a hooker.
Yeah.
So you can get away with a little locker, a little middle, small middle forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually the Warriors have been starting to just play around with that little kind of rotation, especially in New South Wales Cup recently. Been having Freddie Lussick playing a lot of back row, and then flipping between him and Healey. So it's interesting to see just how things are evolving. And I don't know, in the future you might have something like almost a compulsory 2 dummy half skilled players, at least in your 17, which I know the Storm perfected for a while there. I think the Storm actually had about 3 dummy halves for a while there. But anyways, all under the salary cap. But Moneta, one guy who really impressed again, got another start and went the full 80. Leka Halasima, what did you see from him out in the second row?
He's only 19. He played full 80 minutes and he was rushing on D. He made a couple of big tackles. And that last tackle, who rushed up and forced, I can't remember McLean or
McLean.
something, to pass the tackle,
McLean.
pass the ball forward. Like, it was his pressure, and I think it's actually just his presence. I think he's starting to build a reputation.
Mm.
And you're noticing more people kind of surrounding him, and what that does, hopefully it creates further gaps further down this, fielder side. And so, yeah, he's attracting defenders. And just watching him, he just seems he's able to go to 0 to 100. And his haircut, oh my god!
Yeah.
You okay, Cisco?
It's like it's a bit of a blend, isn't it? It's like a Davy Crockett mixed in with a
You're gonna be singing the song when he scores a try.
yeah.
I still think they didn't quite, especially when they did in the second half. But there's still opportunities to play him in a bit better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more early ball as well with space.
Yep.
But in saying that, it was hard. They couldn't get good. Couldn't get quick play the balls. So we were battling in the middle, actually, I think, in that second half. So, and obviously in the first half, we had other attacking outlets as well. But so good. I just think also just so good that these younger guys are just getting lots of game time and tough reps as well. And they've been, don't want to say the word groomed, but they've been groomed for a wee while. They've had tastes of first grade last year. With Dimitrik as well. I think we called for this right early in the season. These guys need to be playing regular first grade now, but not necessarily always starting.
And not necessarily groomed.
And no, not in that way. And now they're just showing it. They're solid first graders, but a long way to go too.
Mm.
Do you guys think Bunty's, like, I haven't spoken to you guys obviously for a long time, but Bunty's like a different person this year, I find. He's like, someone's given him like a good, like, I don't know, he's like a gorilla now.
Oh, here we go again.
Like,
yeah.
He's a totally different person. Like, the way he, takes his, like, hit-ups now, he's, like, running all the way back and hitting it up. Like, he's got a bit of mongrel behind him now, where he didn't used to have it.
Maybe a slightly changed role. Yeah. And also maybe a bit of extra Pantene up top. Maybe just giving him a bit of up and go, which would be, which definitely helps our cause. Loving to see Bunty.
The one thing that kind of just scares me a little bit is when there's no Mitch, there's no Fisher Harris in the middle, and that's probably the weak point. And look, these guys are going to come back. We're going to get Fisher Harris back, and I actually don't mind. We've called for it before. I like Marata in the middle as well, because I also think lateral movement. But that their roll on, so the Cowboys roll on, coincided with our starting middles not being out there as well. And, look, you can't have. I think we've got a pretty good rotation at the moment. Sorry, Miss Jackson Ford has just found a new lease of life, right, as well, and just super fit. But I get a little nervous when we've got perhaps Bunty, Dimitrik in the middle there, and then get a little bit exploited. They're doing a good job, and there's a lot of. We did a lot of cover tackling, and sort of scrambling just to kind of save face until we could get Mitch back on, get Erin back on.
And I got to say, Marata, I've sort of paid him out a few times on this podcast, to be fair, but I thought the work that he did on Saturday night was fantastic. Great work.
Marata.
Great work in there. Great work up the middle. But also, like, I saw him covering out wide a few times as well, especially in the second half when it became a little bit sort of uncertain as to who was playing where because we were losing guys. So, yeah, great to see him, sparking up the form and settling into that middle role, because it's funny, isn't it, how we've had both Marata and now Ford just sort of gravitating more towards the middle of the field. So creating sort of options out wide for the younger guys to get more of a crack. But
so it's great flexibility, though. Like, you think about all those forwards that can play middle, play edge. You at a push, Marata's been a centre, so, Cape, obviously becomes our default centre on the day. Well, that's another tactic from Webby, Just, you never know what's going to happen in game, so you need to select players that can play multiple positions as well. So, Mitch goes back to lock as well. I know there's not too much difference in terms of prop to lock, but obviously there's the ball play component. So, you need the Swiss Army knife approach, right, to plugging in gaps during the game, because, if we didn't have that option, we would have got skilled. We would have got skinned out wide. But easily Capes gets out there and does a job.
I'm really interested to see with old Rocco. Likely, I'm guessing he probably won't be available for this round with the hamstring injury, I think it was. Juanita, I want to get your thoughts, man. Give us your thoughts on the back five. Because Ali was obviously out on the weekend. So I'm sort of, I know it's hard to know without the injury report on hand, but if he comes back, if Ali comes back, say, Dallin is also due back in week 10. See if he's been doing a bit of running around on the training field as well. So that also, that creates something interesting because then we've got Dallin and Tane, potential right wingers, but no right centre. So what are your thoughts on how to work that rotation? Does Tane go to the back? Does Chance go to centre? Or what do you reckon?
You could put Catewell in the centres again, I think. I think he was it against the Broncos. Was he in the centres? And he did a good job in defence.
He was a gun.
Actually.
Yeah.
And Tane, WZ on the wings, put Pompey back into the centres, and then obviously C&K. That could be the way to go. Obviously, I would prefer Ali Latawa if he's back, or even if RTS comes back, I prefer him back in the centres. I
think RTS is another week.
Yeah, so I would go with that. I mean, Catewell's done the job before, so we could go with that in terms of and his D is, I was going to do the Mike Tyson, no, I can't do it. But, he's doing pretty well in the last month or so in terms of his defense. So, I think that would be the back five.
Okay. So you're thinking, Tane to the left wing, yeah? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Tane, DWZ on the right wing. I always forget which. Pompey's usually right, is he?
Left.
Left. So Pompey left, and then Catewell right, and obviously C&K at the back. And
Okay.
I think that would be the best way to go.
Well, what if Ali's back? Would he go right or?
He replaced Catewell, so that would be it.
Catewell will go back to the forwards.
Yeah. Again,
we've got no Cossie either, Unlikely to have Cossie. Blame it on Cossie. He won't be
like Webby did.
Would you keep Cossie?
Could you lip read when the camera cut to him?
I
was like,
because he was holding his hand up like this after the game.
I thought he gussed it out. I thought he played all right. Old Ed.
Yeah, I thought he played good. Yeah. Definitely.
He just scored a hat-trick on the weekend, so he's going right.
Team M set them all up too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those two are combining.
He basically set them up.
Those guys are combining and making it look easy at the moment.
Yeah, I was hearing that Team M doesn't belong in New South Wales Cup. They were just saying that he's that good above everyone else, apparently, Team M.
Yeah.
So it's telling you the quality of halfbacks we have at the moment.
Well, it's interesting because there's been a bit of chat around the New South Wales Cup, especially this year. And just that the overall standard might have actually come down a bit. So when you got guys who are like Te Maire, who's basically right on the doorstep of playing NRL level, and they just look out of place as soon as they go and play in cups. So yeah, it's an interesting time. Obviously, the Warriors I feel like we've got a squad of more fringe first graders currently than a lot of the other teams. That's why. The Cup boys are, flying high with a better points differential than the NRL team, obviously. But what's your thoughts, man, in terms of the injuries with Rocco potentially out, Cossie obviously as well? Are you thinking the same sort of thing as Moneta?
Yeah, I mean, I think while Graham Topher coming in, I think there's probably like for like in terms of replacement, and Pompey's done a great job on the wing too. There could be a case that Tane does miss out. Perhaps, I don't know. Tough. I mean, one thing I would say, we didn't necessarily get the grow forward we needed last weekend. And, obviously Cossie was holding or carrying injury too. And it was hard for Tane. And he had a couple of good runs, but, there were times where, and naturally, he was up against Taulangi. Taulangi, I should say. There's mismatches of can be a bit of a threat as well. But he's done a fantastic job. I was actually quite keen to see, we want Dallin back, want Roger back as well, because, people are going, well, how are they going to fit in? But, they're class players, they're great athletes as well. And, just thinking perhaps getting back to our go forward off the back five, that would have a massive boost. So hopefully, depending on all shakes out, at least Dallin's back, we'll get him back. Pompey's been awesome. He's just been, I don't think there's not many people ragging him because... He's just been, and again, he's just solid, actually solid as in performance, but healthy every week. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. And especially the last couple of games, I've just been watching him, him and Jackson Ford, both of them, I'm looking at them going, they're playing great. Like, who the hell are those guys? Loving it.
I missed the podcast a couple of weeks ago, but like, can we just say how amazing the Goosey was? Was that the night? It was the night. So
The Knights, yeah.
just bring the Goosey, bring that back, mate. I loved it. So yeah,
Absolutely. I also got to just say quickly, not to do with anything, but in the Warriors game, the Cup game on the weekend, the North Sydney Bears did a fantastic double round. It was like the filet mignon of double rounds. It wasn't straight 1-to-1, like one guy to the next guy and then he gave it back. It was one guy to the next guy to the next guy, and then he gave it back. And I was like, "Oh, hello!" And then they scored a try against us. So maybe we should look at using that
with an extra meat patty.
Oh, it was. It really was. And then he threw a cutout pass on top of that to the winger.
Oh, that's with mayo. Yes.
Ooh, delicious.
Hungry.
Man, boys, another big game coming up this week. I mean, they're just big games. We can't really look too far ahead, to be fair. And we've got the Dragons away. The same place where they bloody squashed us last year. So
yeah, they did.
How do we top them? How do we take them down this year, Moneta?
Just keep on playing the way we're playing. I think, we've got the forwards to do it at the moment. I watched the Dragons play the Dolphins. Did you guys see that one try that I can't remember he mucked up? It was over the try.
Tigers.
Against the Tigers, the Dragons versus Tigers.
That's the quintessential 12-point try.
That was the biggest bomb I've ever seen. So I think we just keep on playing the way we do. But I think Daniel makes a good point around having DWZ back. We'll get a bit more oomph from the back compared to Tane. And so, I think we just keep on playing the way we're playing. And, I want Metcalf to kind of, do what he's doing, running the ball a bit more, I thought, on the weekend. He was doing a bit more game management the games previous, but I think now, he's trying to run the ball a bit more, get into space a bit more. And I think that's what's creating a bit more of those gaps at the moment. So, I just keep on doing what they're doing, Obviously, not the second 40.
It's interesting. I feel like the halves, for the first part of the season, they kind of looked like they were just trying to find the speed of the game. And at the moment, they've got it. They seem to be moving at the right speed and being in the right place to make it work a lot better. So that's exciting.
Yeah,
Daniel, what's your
CHT's doing awesome too. You got to give it to him too.
Oh, absolutely.
That one try he kicked. You got to make your luck, right?
That was all him.
Oh, yeah, it was all him. That was great.
Reminiscent of a young Jared Cronin. Some netball court.
I used to love a little grubber kick that just through the line.
Grubber kick, yeah.
Through the line. See, that's why I couldn't ever understand. I was like, why is it so hard for these guys to put it through the line? It's like the easiest thing in the world.
I saw someone in the comments called CH2 Ginamu Part 2.
Yeah, bro. Ginamu. Ginamu.
There's a name.
Version 2.
There's a name. Oh, boy.
There's a name.
Bro, what's your keys before we jump out, bro? The keys for taking down the Dragos.
So the Drag Queens are a sort of team at the moment where they'll just beat themselves. If you don't give them anything, you just play consistent footy. They're a team like a lot of those sort of Titans and those sort of guys. Actually, they're just going to not say they're going to have their moments. They're going to play well, but I think the fundamentals, we're just going to bash them up in the middle. I'd be pretty surprised if we lose the middle against these guys, and then we just got a bit more, I guess a bit more, you talk about slow cooking action, we just put them in the pressure cooker as well, and they'll just capitulate. So that's my general feeling, although that last year, that was kind of a little bit out of the blue, right? So, but I'd like us to kind of, we've had one convincing win, haven't we? Not saying not convincing, but we've had just a couple of convincing wins. I think for Warriors fans, it's to really cement how we're doing is you need to put a 20 on them, and just let, like 30-10, something like that. Just a little statement to say, we're a top 8, top 4 team. They're a bottom 8 team as well. Because other teams like, the Broncos go beat the Bulldogs. And then I know the Panthers are playing for survival really, but then the Broncos get tipped up at home. You got Madge going, we can beat the best team. And then we lost to the lowest ranked team currently. So we're a little bit more even keel. And I just think the Drag Queens can be a little bit like this. And they are on a down as well. They have a couple of pastings recently.
Oh, I thought the Panthers looked a lot like what you expect from the Panthers against the Broncos. I was like, these guys are really good, despite what's been happening. But it's funny that you mentioned that we just need to play and just let them beat themselves. Because that sounds like the game plan that every single NRL club has used against the Warriors in years gone by. So how ironic that is.
We'll give them 30-point lead, and then they'll just beat themselves.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
anymore, motherfuckers.
Oh, boys, love your work. Welcome back, everyone. It's been great to rattle through a few things about the team and the club and the fans, everything that's going on at the moment. A lot happening. So thanks very much for watching as well, guys. Get to our website, warriorsanonymous.co.nz. Get yourself some sweet merch as well. Oh, yeah, but it's got it on. Yeah, nice. There you go. There you go. You can look good walking down the street.
Like killer bees.
I better not do that.
That's the new winter collection. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Awesome, boys. Well, thanks. On that note, thanks very much for jumping in. And yeah, until next week, up the wires. Go!